yeah, yuck, yuck, yuck. Ew. This is an indicator that your lipstick needs to be tossed. Last video of the year, and I couldn't leave you hanging. Today I'm doing part 2 of my huge lipstick declutter, going through my bullet lipsticks and lip liners. So we're about to have a swatch fest. We're gonna get straight into it. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget beauty. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. All right, so here we are. Obviously, this looks a little bit different from my other declutters. It's just a little easier to have everything out in front of me versus reaching into the back of the drawer, because the Alex drawers from IKEA are so deep that you really can't even access the back easily. But I have laid this all out exactly how it is in my drawer usually. One of the biggest differences you may notice if you did watch my liquid lipstick and lip gloss declutter is that in this drawer, I pair everything, or I organize everything by brand versus color. Starting with up front here, we have both the Wet n Wild High Shine lipsticks and Megalast matte lipsticks. Now these I don't really see myself getting rid of at all because they're still relatively new and they're probably my most recommended drugstore lipstick. I'm not going to swatch all of these since I have an entire lip swatch video with both of these collections. But as a rundown, these are probably the best budget lipsticks you can get at the drugstore for $2.99 each. And I feel like the range is so beautiful, although I hope that they expand it to more than just neutrals and reds. I will go ahead and share a few of my favorites. So this one is called Mauve Outta Here. This is in the matte formula, and their matte formula still has like a little bit of satinness to it. It's not like a really flat dry matte in my experience. This one is beautiful. This one is called Cherry Bomb. Amazing fall shade when you're looking for that oxblood color. And then as for more of a neutral in the matte, this is one that I reach for often. It's called Bare It All. This is a perfect everyday nude matte shade. Now, as far as the high shine lipsticks, I kind of found myself really wearing these more than the mattes. It is such a pleasant formula to wear throughout the day. They do have a glossy finish, and some of the more bold shades leave a stain behind even after the shine may transfer or fade. So this one is called Mad for Mauve. So I'll do it above right here, the other mauve shade. This one's definitely more of a neutral mauve versus like a purple mauve. That is a great everyday shade for me. There was another one in here that I just talked about in my dupes video. This one is called Clothes Off, and I compared this to an Armani lipstick, and I felt that the shades were almost an exact match. And this is another one that is just a really pretty neutral. That one's more of a nutty brown versus a mauve. And there are some more bold shades in this collection as well. This one is Crimson Crime. Beautiful, beautiful glossy red. So I am going to be keeping all of the Wet n Wild shades. And again, if you want to see more swatches, I have a dedicated video that I'll link in the description. All right, next up, we have a few of the Seriously Satin lipsticks from e.l.f. These I reviewed on my blog, and I found them a little inconsistent. Some of them were very smooth and opaque, and others did tend to tug a little bit. This one is Cider, which is a really beautiful warm brown. Ooh. This is also broken in the tube. Really nice for fall, especially with the 90s brown becoming so popular again. But yeah, I think 2 or 3 of these actually did break in their tubes. Wasn't a huge fan of the packaging. I'm not sure if maybe that's what the issue was. Like the tube is too big for the bullet, so there's too much wiggle room as you put pressure on it, which causes it to snap. So that's been kind of annoying. The shade is so pretty. I might set this aside to see if there's another one like it that's not broken. Now, this one is called Taffy, and this one's sort of like a warm mauve. I have a lot of shades like this because it's just what I gravitate toward. That is beautiful. Again, it is broken in the middle. You can kind of see it right there. Now this one, I think, yeah, this one's called Persimmon. Very bright orange. I'm not a huge orange lipstick kind of person, but I just thought that it added something different to my collection. But this one particularly, it applies almost a flat matte versus the other lipsticks. You can kind of see there's a shine on taffy. That's where I found the inconsistency. This one has a lot more tug and literally just applies matte. And then last I have Cocoa, which is a little bit more of a deep, richer brown versus Cider. Very, very dark and grungy 90s style. And there is almost like a burgundy lean to it. It's very interesting in the light. So here is the deal. I kind of want to set these three aside. So Taffy, Cocoa, and Cider. See where we get in the other swatches, but I'm definitely going to declutter Persimmon just because I don't like how the formula applies, and I'm really not an orange lipstick kind of person. Oh, here is another Wet n Wild that I missed that I'll keep. All right, let's go through this little quadrant here, and there's another Wet n Wild shade that I do not want to that I want to keep. Okay, let's go. So I've got two of these Essence. This is nude lipsticks, and this is a collection, I believe, of cream finish lipsticks that are all in neutral shades. So we've got Crazy, which does look like a mauve, and again, mauve is just my jam. We're gonna see it a lot. This one's a little deeper than the one from e.l.f. that we just swatched. It's almost a berry mauve. And this next one is called Enough. I believe this is more of a brown. Yeah. Ooh. This one's weirdly having a bit of trouble, like twisting up. I'm getting a lot of resistance here. Oh, okay. This is actually translating a lot more oxblood than brown. Interesting. I feel like we just swatched one of these from the Wet n Wild collection, and I don't necessarily need both of them. Was it this one? Cinnamon Spice that we swatched? Similar. The essence is a little bit more purple. Oh, maybe it was this one, Cherry Bomb. Yeah, I think this might have been it. Yeah, look. These are like exact shade dupes. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think I'm going to hold on to the Wet n Wild one and declutter the Essence. Oh, there's one more Essence. This is not from the same line, but this is from their Ultra Last Instant Color collection in shade 7. I don't think there's like an actual shade name for this. Ooh, interesting. This is like a cool mauve or a purpley brown. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, so this is definitely like a shiny, glossy finish. I didn't really expect that at all. This is a really interesting shade. It's kind of a cool toned beigey mauve. I'm going to set this aside. I really don't think I have anything quite like this. And the finish is really pretty. Totally forgot I owned this. I don't know if I had even applied this before I just swatched it now. Okay, I think that's it for Essence. And now I have a few of these AOA lipsticks. So these are like their most basic lipsticks. I don't really remember them being anything crazy good, and I definitely have not reached for them at all since maybe the first or second time testing them. This is in the shade Shore. Oh, that's actually a pretty nude. It's like a pinky nude. Okay. This one's Guava. That's also pretty. Oh my gosh. Is this not going to be a successful declutter, y'all? Okay. This last one is Bliss. Okay. This looks kind of similar. Not really. This was Bare It All from Wet n Wild. Let's see what this looks like. This one's different enough too. That was Peach Please by Wet n Wild. Yeah, okay, let me declutter Bliss because this sort of yellow pink doesn't do a lot for my skin tone. And then these two I'm going to put in the maybe pile. Excuse me. Moving right along, I have one Colourpop lipstick. This is in Mesmerize, their Velvet Blur formula. First of all, this packaging is just gorgeous, but I also really liked this formula because there was a matte aspect to it, but it was like a soft, kind of blotted matte. Also love the embossing on the bullet. I just always think those little details make using a certain beauty product that much more fun. So Mesmerizing, again, I think this is sort of like a mauve shade. It is a warm mauve, and I know we just swatched something just like this, didn't we? This is sort of looking like the taffy shade from e.l.f. Let's check it out. Ooh, those are really darn close, huh? Taffy is just a little bit brighter, a little bit cooler as well. But are they different enough to keep both of them? What do you think? Now this is potentially a similar shade, although in a glossy formula for the Wet n Wild. That one's a little bit more purple. I'm going to choose one or the other. I think I'm going to stick with the e.l.f. one. Ranted about it before, and I feel like Colourpop just goes through their products so quickly in terms of discontinuing them that I feel like having this like as a content creator and like recommending lipsticks to you, I feel like the e.l.f. one is actually more helpful to have in my collection than the Colourpop. Actually, I'm gonna look this up. Can you even still get this lipstick? Bloom Bloom, Slow Dance, Oasis. Yeah, I don't even think they have this shade anymore, so that just solidified that for me. Next, let's get into the NYX lipsticks. I sort of have them in this area, although there are a few that are scattered. So here is the NYX collection, and I do have some of their matte suede lipsticks, so we can go over those first. I have 3 very fall type sultry shades, one being Alien, which is their iconic black lipstick. Now, I'm such a sucker for black lipstick. I think it looks so chic, but I also think with black lipstick, you really need to have a solid formula. And although this is very opaque and very rich, it is not long lasting. Even for a matte lipstick, this will not last through sipping on water. It definitely won't last through eating. So this is definitely a lipstick that I'll put on for photos, but I don't really use it like in the wild. So that does sort of make me question its place in my collection, because if I'm wearing black, I want it to hang in there pretty well, and I do tend to reach for a liquid formula for that. So I'm going to set this aside, but that might be a declutter. Now this next one I believe is sort of a dark browny red. It is called Vintage. So, you know, I feel like we've swatched a few just like this, huh? Let's go back to that Wet n Wild shade Cherry Bomb, because this really does look like the same shade. Okay, it's actually less purple and more red. Do we think that's enough of a difference to keep it in the collection? I kind of do, because I know this is going to match certain eyeshadow looks or whatever that this one might not. If I'm going for less of a berry look, I'll set that aside as well. This last one from the Suede collection is called Subversive, and I think this is a straight up purple. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. I'm in love with that shade. Again, though, that's a shade that I'm going to need a long-lasting formula in. And knowing that this doesn't last as long, it's a little bit troubling. But I think I could at least get away with wearing that and having it like fade a little bit more in the middle versus the black. With the black shade, like just the slightest bit of fading is so obvious. And so, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep Subversive, which is the purple. I'm going to declutter Alien, which is the black. Oops, that's not that. This is the pile over here. And vintage. What do we think about vintage? I'm gonna set it aside and we'll see what happens with vintage. This is my maybe pile that will kind of come back to when we find similar shades. Okay, next up we have just the very classic NYX matte lipstick. This is kind of their classic option. Now this is the shade Honeymoon, and I believe this is another sort of cool toned taupey mauve. Ooh, that's definitely different than I think most of what we swatched. I know that I've had this tube of lipstick for literally maybe 4 or 5 years, and I think that even though the shade is beautiful, I might just go pick up a new tube if I find myself needing a shade like this, because this tube needs to go. Yeah, I'm not liking some of the separation that I'm seeing on the bullet itself. I'm not sure if the camera is going to be able to pick it up very well. I can personally just see a little bit of texture here where some of the ingredients might be separating, and that is definitely a sign that your lipstick needs to be tossed. So this is going to be decluttered. Next we have this NYX Shout Loud Satin Lipstick. This is the shade Harmony, which is this punchy hot pink. Let's swatch this. Hot pink is not a shade I typically go for. It's not sparking a ton of joy. So I think if it's not like an automatic love, I just gotta declutter it. Otherwise, we're not gonna end up decluttering anything today. And then lastly, we have 3 of these NYX Filler Instincts. Now these are more like tinted lip balms. They are sheer and balmy and kind of glossy. So they're not meant to be fully pigmented color, but they still do pack a lot. So this one is in the shade Bezos. And again, this is sort of an orangey shade, but especially because there's a bit of translucency to it, it does translate a little bit more coral. Then we have Juicy Pout, which is a red shade. Yeah, this one's actually almost less pigmented than Bezos, but again, it almost translates to more of a pink than red because it's not full coverage. And then Miami Nights is this, all I can describe it is a Barbie pink. I know I definitely have a Wet n Wild glossy shade that matches this, and this, it's just not, if I'm going for a red, I want it to be red. I think the only one I'm going to keep is Bezos because that's actually genuinely unique in my collection, and I'll declutter these 2. Okay, moving right along, I have 2 Maybelline lipsticks here. You know, I always forget that I love these sort of classic square tube Maybelline lipsticks. I really want to get more because they have always been these lipsticks that I've rediscovered in my collection, and I'm like, oh, I always forget how much I love them. So this one is called Plum for Me. You know, I think I might have gotten either one or both of these at Dollar General too. They're really affordable, but you can also get them like at the normal drugstore or even in grocery stores. So this is a really pretty glossy finish plum shade. Now I feel like we're swatching so many plums and I didn't even expect that I had so many. So wait, this is the Cherry Bomb one again. Okay, well, definitely different in tone, but also finish. So I think we're okay on that front. Let's see, this one's the High Shine in Sangria Time. Let's see how that goes. Oh no, that's more purple. Okay, so far looking like it's a unique option. And then this other one is called Red for Me. This one is in matte, and it is a warm red. That is a beautiful classic red. And actually, a lot of my red lipsticks are on the cooler side just because I do prefer that typically. So I do want to hold on to this just to have the option of a warmer red. I really don't think I need to have Plum for Me in the collection. Even though it is different than the other plums going on, it's just not speaking to me. Okay, why don't we go through this next section, which I do believe is all Revlon. I have their Lustrous Glass Shine lipsticks as well as their Super Lustrous Matte lipsticks. Now, I do believe I have a video for both of these collections, so I will leave that linked if I do. Okay, perfect. So I've got them all organized now. This one is called Fire and Ice, and I'm pretty sure Fire and Ice is like a classic Revlon shade. They've had it around for years, and in this glossy formula, again, it's not super opaque. Definitely beautiful, and you can see how wet this actually looks. Like, it is melting into the skin. That's how it looks on your lips. So it really is sort of just a lip gloss in a tube. And again, I don't really prefer my reds to be in this formula because I do feel that they tend to smear a little bit, and there's nothing worse than red lipstick smearing. It just looks a little diseased. So I think this one might be a declutter. Now this one is Glaring Coral. I really like this. It's almost a nude coral. Now something they did in this collection that I'm not sure whether or not it's useful, they did make a transparent version of this lipstick, or maybe it's just got a little bit of shimmer to it. It's called Sparkling Quartz. I just don't know if I necessarily have a use for this being in a solid format versus a lip gloss, like a clear sparkly lip gloss. Because if I'm using it as a topper, this type of solid, you know, like using this over a color, it's going to drag and pick up whatever color I'm using it on top of. I guess, I don't know. If you just love the formula and you want to use it alone, this will just give you a beautiful glossy lip look. I would rather reach for a lip gloss versus it in a tube form. Okay, so Rum Raisin, this is a really beautiful neutral. It is a bit cooler, but you still get a little bit of that rosiness. Definitely going to keep that. And next we have some pinks. This one is probably the neutral out of the remaining three. This is Glossed Up Rose. This one, I just feel like we have so many shades like this. Do I want it in this formula too? Is the question, right? It is quite beautiful. Let me check our Wet n Wild stash, since those are most of what we've got in the glossy formula. Let's check this out. I think this is more of a purpley mauve. Clothes Off is more brown. So this one might survive the culling. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and keep that. This next one is called Dazzle Me Pink. Let's see, can I get this in the shot? Ooh, that is beautiful. It's kind of like a yellow hot pink. Don't really have anything like that, do I? Might just be unique enough. Ooh, those are pretty similar. This one is called Strawberry Lingerie from Wet n Wild. Those are pretty close. And Strawberry Lingerie is just a bit more pigmented, so I wonder if I would just prefer to have that. Ugh, so hard. Okay, yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep the Wet n Wild one. And this last one is Cherries in the Snow. Again, I believe this is a pretty classic shade for Revlon. That's a really, really beautiful fuchsia. I don't know, now looking at these, I feel like I'd rather keep this than that. Because this type of shade, I always keep one or two and then I never wear them. I'm gonna do a little switcheroo. I'm gonna declutter Cherries in the Snow and bring back Dazzle Me Pink. All right, now let's move on to the mattes. And again, I really don't think I'm going to keep all of these. Now, what I like about this collection is that they did include some like out of the box shades. So let's just go over those first. This first one is called Moonlight. And if I remember correctly, it was like a grayish purple. I love shades like this. It's just so unexpected and different. I want to keep this just because of that. I really wish that more drugstore lines would include fun shades like this, although I recognize that maybe it's just not for everybody. This one is called Rhythm and Blues. It is a denim blue. Well, maybe not denim blue. It's more like a bright blue. Again, just a really, really cool shade. And honestly, I need to reach for it more often, because the only way brands will make more shades like this is if people actually wear them and use them and buy them. So I have to do better. Oh yeah, see, these are the same. Weird. So one of them is in limited edition packaging. It's called Untold Stories. And then this one is just like the core collection called Untold Stories, but I'm pretty sure they're the same actual shade. And I did end up opening and swatching them both by accident, not realizing that they were the same. Like, this is my perfect nude. It's not too warm. It's not too cool. Very, very beautiful neutral. Let's see if they actually swatch the same. Actually, does this one look kind of warmer to you? Wait, is that just my eyes playing tricks on me, or does that one actually look warmer? Comment down below and tell me. So the one that doesn't look as warm is the core shade, and the one that does is from the Sophia Larson collection. I don't I don't remember what celebrity it was with. If you recognize this signature, let me know. I think I might keep the one that looks a little warmer, to be honest. Definitely don't need both. Here, this one is called Obsessed, which is another nude, but I do believe it's a little bit more, yeah, it's like, I don't know, what do you call this shade? Terracotta? Muted brick? I'm not sure, because there is an element of like red to it, but ultimately it's a little beigey, no? Gorgeous. I'm gonna keep that. Now here's one I don't think I'm gonna be keeping. This is called Candy Addict. And this is just very light pink. And I don't necessarily think these shades look great on me. Yeah, I don't think I'll be reaching for that anytime soon. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. Okay, let's check out this Fuchsia Heartbreaker. Again, these like bright hot pinks I just don't find myself wearing, although that is beautiful. You know what? I'm going to hold on to that only because I'll put it in the maybe pile. I think it might be a dupe for one of the MAC lipsticks I have, so that might be interesting to explore in just a second. Here is Fire and Ice again, but in the matte formula. So this is, like I mentioned, a very classic Revlon shade. And see, I would much rather wear this in a matte formula. I just think it's way more punchy. This does have like a yellowy undertone to it. It is a warmer red. Okay, here is another red. This is on Fire. Almost orange, to be completely honest with you. This is not very much red, but if you just looked at the bottom, you would think so. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna get much use in my collection. And then I think, yeah, they really put a lot of red adjacent shades here. Oh no, wait, this is just another On Fire. Why do I have two? Oh, because that one was, again, part of their limited edition collection. Also, do these look exactly the same to you? Or is it different like the other one that was in the limited edition collection? This one looks less orange. That is so weird. Am I crazy? And then this one is the Sophia Red. So I believe this was an exclusive shade to this collection. Ooh, that's really pretty. That's like a blue-based red. Pretty sure I have this in other formulas though, and considering this is limited edition, I have this habit of holding on to limited edition stuff and then never wearing it. So just gonna go ahead and nip that in the bud. We've got two sort of maybe browns. Oh no, this one's Black Cherry. So this is another one. I feel like I've owned several Revlon Black Cherry lipsticks over the course of my makeup wearing life. It's streaky because I keep wiping the makeup wipe. This is not really how it applies. That's a little better on that side. So another mauve oxblood shade that I want to test against. Which one were we using? Cherry Bomb by Wet n Wild. Let's see the difference. Well, the Wet n Wild is definitely more matte. Very similar. So I might keep both of them just because it's such an iconic Revlon shade, even though I'm acknowledging that these are like exactly the same. All right, next we have another what looks like a deep fuchsia-ish shade. Fuchsia-ish. This is called Insane. It does not look as deep as, maybe it does. Yeah, It's pretty, but it's not really a color that I see myself using a lot. I am actually really surprised with how many like dark fuchsia, dark berries I own. I really didn't think I owned that many, and for as many as I have, I certainly don't wear the shade very often. This last one is Hot Chocolate, which is kind of a medium brown. I think I want to compare this with the e.l.f. satin lipstick. Interesting. Well, they're definitely different. I'm not sure which one I prefer though. The Hot Chocolate is a bit warmer and obviously deeper, and this is really annoying, the fact that it's broken. I might just go ahead and declutter this e.l.f. one, and if I want it again, I'll just spend the $2. Let's check it out against Cocoa though. I feel like these might be a little bit closer together. Ooh, yeah, those are really similar. Do I want it in the Revlon or do I want it in the e.l.f.? I think I'm going to keep it in the e.l.f. and part with the Revlon one just to give more variety to my collection, since I kept so many of the Revlon ones and I don't really have many e.l.f. lipsticks. So I did find another Essence lipstick that I hadn't noticed before. This is in their Ultra Last Instant Color shade number 10. It looks like a purple shade. That's a very wearable purple because it leans a little bit more pink. And because I didn't really keep a lot of Essence, I think I'll go ahead and keep this one. Let me just quickly compare it to this e.l.f. or NYX one. think this was darker. Yeah, okay, cool. I think we're good to keep both of those. Okay, let's go into, well, first of all, let's move this over so I can actually reach what's going on here. Moving right along, let's just go into this little quadrant here. This is sort of a mixed bag of brands. First up, we have this tiny little YSL lipstick. I don't know where I got this from. I'm pretty sure maybe it was like a Sephora birthday gift or something. I like to keep these just because they're perfect for like dupe videos and such. And this is actually a very, very similar formula. I've talked about it before, to the Revlon lipsticks. I would say that they are a formula dupe, although I haven't been able to identify a shade dupe. These are pretty close. So this is Dazzle Me Pink, and then the YSL shade is number 49. I also have a NARS set that came together as like a little holiday ornament last year, I think. This is another sort of like glossy lipstick or glossy balm. It is the Dolce Vita Afterglow Lip Balm. Really handy for like keeping in a clutch or a purse. I love these little lipstick minis. And that's a beautiful like Your Lips But Better shade. It just adds a little wash. And then I believe this is the Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in Bahama. Very similar kind of cool mauve shade. Really, really pretty. I'm going to keep both of those. So these are two Pixie lip glows. Again, sort of a tinted lip balm product. I found that this was a really big year for the tinted lip balm, which is a little ironic because of mask wearing. Tinted lip balms aren't necessarily the best for under masks because they are not transfer proof, but it's a nice way to just add a little wash of color to your lips. That's a really pretty color. This is Ruby. Okay, I'm gonna keep that. This one is called Fleur. I'm not sure if this one's even visible because it is so, wow, that is not a fun sound. Absolutely not. This one's so light. Yeah, I might get rid of Fleur. Oh, also you can't twist these backwards. So if you like accidentally twist them too high, you can't retract them. I don't know why they did that with this packaging. I find that incredibly annoying. Now, some of my absolute favorite tinted lip balms come from Honest. I feel like I had one more, but I might be, yep, here it is. These are like my favorite tinted lip balm formulas. I think they add just the right amount of color from what you're looking for a traditional tinted lip balm, and these just feel so good. This one is the shade Lychee Fruit, which is a very warm nude sort of beige shade. This one is Summer Melon. Ooh, I wonder if this is a little similar to the one we just swatched from Pixie. I mean, the Honest one is a little lighter, a little bit more coral. Do I keep both? I definitely prefer the Honest ones. And this last one is called Plum Drop. I like this because it adds a little bit of that, you know, plummy, sultry, brown sort of shade. I feel like these are all different enough that I don't feel bad about keeping them all. Also from Honest Beauty, we have these two lip crayons, the Lush Sheer in Sheer Rose and Sheer Bordeaux. And I believe these are sort of a matte formula. Oh my gosh, my arm is so stained up. That's kind of pretty. So that was Sheer Bordeaux, and then here's Sheer Rose. I have not actually worn these like in a long time, and I feel like we have enough of these sort of like glossy washes of color in my collection right now that these don't really add much. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter these. Now a good chunk of this declutter is gonna happen right now because I know that I want to get rid of probably all of these Physicians Formula butter lip balms. Now it's not saying much about the actual formula because I loved these. They were relatively pigmented and had these beautiful glossy finish. They were kind of ahead of their time, to be honest. As you can see, just super melty. These are no longer that available anymore. I'm not sure if they're officially discontinued because I think I saw, oh, ew, look at that one. That one is like melted. Ew, what happened to this? Oh yeah, yuck, yuck, yuck. Ew. Well, this is a good indicator, like all of these weird texture changes, that the formula is separating, which is not super surprising because I've had these for so long and they are a butter product. Yeah, it's not a huge surprise that some of the butters have separated, but that's definitely an indicator that they just need to be tossed right away. But like I said, the formula and the shades in these were so dang pretty. And I'm not sure if they're 100% discontinued, because I did see that the brand just released like holiday sets with a few limited edition shades of this product. The ones that I have, like, I can only find them at like Bed Bath & Beyond and stuff, not necessarily the actual drugstore. Why don't we go ahead and round up these Milani shades? These are brand new to my collection, so I'm definitely not going to be decluttering any of them. I do have a video swatching all of the glossy shades, or maybe minus a few, and then I also have a blog post swatching all of the matte shades. So I will leave those down below, but I know that I'm going to keep these, so I'm just going to set them aside and spare you if you've already watched those videos. So just looking really quickly, I'm noticing that I had one more of these Pixie lip glows. This one's in an orange shade, and we all know how I feel about orange. Yeah, I'm not married to that. Now, a lot of what I have left in bullet form is higher end. Let me go through the rest of the drugstore products. We have these Maybelline Ultimatte lipsticks, and I did do a video of these, and if you watched that, you know that I was not a fan of this formula. I felt like it really didn't do well in terms of feathering, like it spread very quickly outside of my lip lines, and it wasn't transfer proof. Like, there just wasn't a lot about this lipstick that made me want to wear it. And just that alone kind of makes me want to get rid of them. They're workable with a lip liner, but still, like, I really don't know what Maybelline was going for with this lipstick launch, because the formula just was not special at all. You can go ahead and watch that video if you want. I am going to go ahead and declutter these. Now, I do have two of these beautiful Catkin lipsticks. I talked about a few of their products in my Worth the Hype video, I believe I did several months ago. But this is a brand from China on Amazon, pretty affordable, and their makeup is just a work of art inside and out. Obviously, the packaging is to die for. It is display worthy. But then also, if you open up their lipsticks, not this one, some of their lipsticks have like scenes on them. Like, can we talk about this? This is the one I believe I showed previously, where it's like a temple scene and there are characters and there are animals, and I can't imagine the work that goes into this. I feel like I see new details every time I open this up. But the brand also does have like plain lipstick bullets, which I appreciate because I don't feel bad about using this, and I can still enjoy the packaging. So this one is in the shade CO128. It is sort of like a burnt orange or a brick orange. And I know we've said that I don't really wear a lot of oranges. This one's just a little less clown. So I think I'm going to hold on to that. All right, so then this section here, we do have one Believe Beauty. This is in the shade Peach Mimosa. It is their Satin Crush lipstick. Now this one, I also don't really remember it being anything to write home about, and it was also a lot, I don't know, more red than peach. Maybe it can pass for a coral, but I don't think that's peach. It is a really pretty shade though, and a little bit different from the other pinks that I kept, because as you remember, I've kind of decluttered most of my fuchsias, and this is more my speed in terms of the warmer hot pink. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. It's you know, the formula is okay. Okay, so now we have this little Covergirl section. I have two that are, I believe it's the Exhibitionist collection, and then I have all of these other ones which are from the Ultra Matte or 24-hour matte collection. So this first one is called Bestie Boo. Now this is one that they did that is, again, kind of a unique shade. It is like a cool periwinkle blue. That's actually really similar. What was the one that I kept that was sort of like that? Yeah, here is the one that I kept from Revlon. They're pretty different. The Revlon one looks a lot more gray. So let's just swatch the Covergirl one, Bestie Boo. Oh, that's like a true periwinkle. And then compared to the Revlon Moonlight, Yeah, that looks a lot more of a dark gray. These are both so cool. Okay, I really want to keep both of them. And then this other one is a cream called Delicious. And this one's sort of like a cool toned purple. And this just looks like this because it melted in the mail. A lot of these actually did not make it to me intact when they sent me this this line, because the Las Vegas heat got to them. They tried to send them to me in the middle of summer and didn't really work out. Now this is very cool. It's kind of a lilac, a cool dusty lilac. This is a really pretty color, and I feel like I have not reached for these. They definitely deserve to be worn. I think maybe part of the reason I don't reach for it is that it does translate a lot different on the skin than it looks in the little preview window, because this looks like just a run-of-the-mill, you know, mauvey pink. Now we have another black, is it? Oh, no, this is like a dark blue. I actually remember this being my least favorite shade in the line, unfortunately, because it is such a cool color. I just don't find it to apply very smoothly on the lips. It's almost like a metallic blue, very cool, a denim blue, but this catches a lot on the texture of my lips, and I've never been able to get it to apply evenly. And even here you can see there are some spots here that look a little bit more faded than the rest. It doesn't go on just like a single layer. Oh, it's so beautiful. But yeah, I remember this shade in practice being a pain. I think what I want to do with this little collection here, I'm just going to kind of do a speed swatch of them and kind of pick out the shades that I think are worth keeping, or that look a little bit different from what we've kept so far, at least. I don't know why this packaging is so hard for me to open. Okay, here are the first 6 that I just swatched, and I feel like these two are very similar to one another. This looks a lot like that e.l.f. shade that I kept, so that was Soloist. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I'm gonna keep this one, which is unlabeled. Unfortunately, it lost its little name tag. Now, as far as this purple, I feel like we just kept another purple, did we not? Okay, that's pretty different. And I know the NYX purple is darker, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep Riot. Now, this is such a beautiful nude. It almost reminds me of what Charlotte Tilbury in Pillow Talk looks like in photos. I haven't actually tried it in real life, but I think that would be an interesting comparison. So that is called Stay With Me. Oh, this is not good, because I really like this shade too, which is called Gemini. I will part with this one though, which is called Provocateur. All right, I'm gonna speed swatch the last 5 in this collection. So here are the last 5 shades, and honestly, all of these are so pretty. I was just going, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. The 2 that I'm a little bit skeptical about is, of course, our rich berry shade, although now I am concerned that I've kind of gotten rid of all the berries under the assumption that I had a ton. Let me see what this looks like next to a couple of the Wet n Wild ones. This Revlon shade, that's pretty different. Now this light nude kind of looked like one of the AOA shades, right? Ooh, oh my God, wait, are those actual dupes? Wait, let's do this the right way here. So that's the AOA, and here is the Covergirl. I know it's kind of hard to tell now that my arm has turned red, but no, those are pretty different. The Covergirl one is like beige, like a camel beige. It's really interesting, but I don't think that looks good on me. So I will go ahead and declutter that, and I'm leaning toward keeping the AOA one now. Now this dark brown, I'm a little on the fence about. You know, I love a good brown, but that kind of brown brings up thoughts of something else. I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that one. That one was called Watch Me. I think the other ones though, I am gonna keep, and they are unique to what I've kept so far. I don't think that I have kept a blue-based red. You know that we've gotten rid of a lot of the fuchsias, but this one, I don't know, there's something about the undertone to this one that makes me actually want to use it and feel like it would look good on me, maybe because it is a little bit warmer. And we will go ahead and keep that berry and see how many berries actually slipped the declutter. But yeah, these 2 I just do not see myself wearing. Down to our last lipstick section, and then of course the lip liners, which is going to be really quick to go through because I kind of have an idea of what I want to keep and what I don't. Most of these MAC lipsticks have gotta go. I've held on to them for, I don't know, sentimental reasons, but I feel like Yeah, I can see some separation there and some weird texture going on. I'm not sure if the camera can pick that up. I've definitely owned these for more than 4 to 5 years. I remember getting several of them when we first moved to Las Vegas, which was about 4 years ago. Now this one doesn't look like it has separated or anything. Do I keep it? Do I keep it? Beautiful. Okay, I might keep that one just because visually it looks okay. Vegas Volt, this one I definitely grabbed 4 years ago, though I haven't used it a lot. This one, there's a little bit of texture situation going on. But the shade, I think I just got it for like the the fact that it was called Vegas. I've never worn that in my life. Creaming or coffee. Okay, this one is more recent. This one was part of an Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. So I know that this one is still okay. This is a beautiful, sort of mauvey brown. So I'll keep that one. Now this one's called Snob. Now, I really hope you guys can pick this up. This is an indicator that your lipstick needs to be tossed. Do you see all of those like weird dots? Okay, 3 more from MAC. We have Candy Yum Yum. Iconic. So iconic. Let's do a little check here. This one's actually looking pretty okay. I might keep that. This next one is Lady Danger, which is kind of an orange red. That kind of orange I can see myself wearing because it leans more red. Let's check. Ooh, I'm seeing a little bit of separation. This again is probably about 4 years old. I think I'm gonna do the safe thing and toss it. And this last one is Saint Germain, another like iconic, I would call this like 2004 pink. This one's looking okay, but I mean, I never wear this and it is just as old as the other one, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. These Urban Decay lipsticks, at least these beached ones, these are, actually I can probably look it up because I reviewed them. Let's take a little trip to slashedbeauty.com and search Urban Decay Beached 2018. So that is about to be 5 years old now. Probably time to get rid of them. Let's see what these shades were. Oh yeah, this was like the metallic look. Metallics were so big. 2016 to 18. Ooh, that's a beautiful kind of corally red that it looks like I never even used. Does a lipstick expire if you actually never used it? The shades, whatever. And then there was this one as well, Tower 1. This was another metallic one, like a gold metallic, really interesting, but metallic lips always make my lip lines look really crackly. And then these Urban Decay ones can stand to be tossed as well. They were from the On the Run collection, which I absolutely loved that eyeshadow palette, but I wasn't, again, a fan of these like super chunky glitter lipsticks. Ooh, I just took a chunk out of that one. This one was a cool color, but again, just a lot of glitter in this. I think this one was matte, called Comfort. You can tell this is one that I actually used. Now this one, I don't remember how old this is. I mean, it's a pretty basic shade though. I don't think I necessarily, oh, this is the Vice lipstick in Back Talk, I think. Cool Mauve, groundbreaking. I think I can go ahead and declutter this. Okay, I have 2 more YSL lipsticks that I do want to keep in order to help my dupes and holiday recommendations. This one is in the shade 59. This is the Rouge Pure Contour lipstick. I think this is a different formula than the small one that I had. This is not necessarily a shade that I would actually wear, but a really interesting one. It's kind of shifty, like between a light pink coral and a gold, but this one is 17 in the same formula, and this one is more of a solid, glossy, I don't know, is that a coral, like a hot coral shade? And then finally, we have this Juicy Couture lipstick, and this is available at Forever 21. I believe it's $12. I have a whole video on their makeup line, which is surprisingly affordable. Now, this one is coated in glitter, but when you actually apply it, as you can see, it's a spray over, so you're not going to get a ton of that glitter on your lips. You're not going to have like a solid glitter lip. It is a pretty mauve shade. not super special. I feel like we kept a lot of this. And I think there were prettier products in this collection that like the actual packaging made it seem more special in my collection. So I think I'll go ahead and part with this. All right, last but not least, I just have this little basket of lip liners. Now there are a few that I know that I want to keep, and those are the Kylie's and the Kokies. So obviously I'm a big fan of Kylie lip kits, and I think that her lip liners are so smooth. I often use them on their own or just under a little bit of lip gloss and just wear them as the lip itself. And then these Koki lip liners, I find these to probably be the best drugstore alternative to the Kylie lip liners. I think they go on super smooth and pigmented. And again, I wear these just alone under lip gloss, and I feel like they are creamy enough to really blend out onto the lip and cover the lip fully. They are pigmented. There's no tugging at all. This is my most worn shade. It's called Warm Nude. I love wearing that. I actually was wearing it in the intro today under like the Maybelline lifter gloss. And you can find these at like Rite Aid, and I know that my local Kroger grocery store has them, but you can get a discount with the code /beauty on their website if you want to buy it directly from them. I believe it's 25% off, so not bad. So the only ones that I really am going to be swatching are these that are left. Oh, here's one more Koki. This is a different formula though. Yeah, these ones, let's see which ones I want to keep. So first off, this Colourpop one is really old. It is called Tootsie. Oh my gosh, this has to be at least 6 years old. Yeah, it's a bit dried out. I think I'm gonna go ahead and toss that. What else have we got here? We have a Revlon Color Stay Longwear, and this is in the shade Chocolate, so a nice brown. I think that's actually really helpful for all of the brown lipsticks that we kept today. Then we have this Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in Bordeaux. I absolutely love this formula. I do prefer retractable lip liners, but because this is so pigmented and smooth and matte, and I've worn it very successfully under the Milani Color Statement lipsticks, definitely going to keep that one. Oh, here's another Revlon one. This is in the shade Mink. This looks like a mauve-y. Ooh, that's pretty. It's a little darker than the mauves that I kept in the lipsticks though. I think I'll keep it just in case. We didn't really have a lot of lip liners, so I'm not super concerned about like keeping versus decluttering. This is the Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liner in Gone Burgundy. Ooh. Yeah, these are all really surprisingly pigmented. I think I get so caught up in using the Koki ones and the Kylie ones, I forget that there are a lot of good drugstore lip liners. Here is Essence. This is the 8-hour waterproof lip liner. I do really like waterproof formulas because they will stay put under your lipstick and really like make your lipstick last. Did we keep a lot of cool mauves today? Yeah, I think I might declutter that. And then this Kat Von D, or not Kat Von D anymore, excuse me, KVD Vegan Beauty, even though it still says Kat Von D on the top, in Lolita 2, which is, I'll admit, an iconic shade. I think I'm gonna keep this just for the sake of duping. So that is that for our lipstick declutter. Okay, I'm almost done reorganizing my lipsticks, and it looks like I can actually get rid of 2 whole organizers. So that is already a win for sure. I just want to go through some of these maybes. I set aside so many of these like beigey lipsticks, beiges and browns. We've got AOA versus Essence versus NYX. I'm gonna keep NYX and Essence. And then we've got this other Essence, which is a mauve, the Colourpop sort of lighter, warmer mauve. Actually, didn't I say that I was getting rid of this because they don't sell the shade anymore? Why did it end up in the maybe pile? And this other AOA. I'm gonna keep this AOA, get rid of the Colourpop, and get rid of the Essence. Wow, I am proud of myself. I did not expect that at all. 3 emptied organizers, and we are left with a very streamlined bullet lipstick collection, and of course, room to expand. Well, I'm pretty happy with how that went. I definitely have the room to refill this drawer, which I'm sure is gonna happen really quickly. But let me know which makeup declutter video you want to see next. I still have to do part 2 of my eyeshadow palettes, which are the larger palettes, and I also have to do my blushes and bronzers. So tell me in the comments which one you want me to do first. Today's shout out goes to Van. Thanks for being a member of the Slashed Squad, and join me over in this video next where I test 5 of the most viral beauty products from TikTok to see if they really work and are they worth the hype. I'll see you over there. Bye!